Well, I've looked at leadership at different levels by looking at the Real Teal Film Festival Committee this year. And that's a group of students that runs this completely student-run film festival here in Wilmington. And I interviewed 3 different types of participants. I interviewed Kevin Barr, who was a viewer this year. I interviewed Chris Wagner, who was a freshman member of the committee. And I also interviewed Caleb Stewart, who's vice president of Flickr and was a co-chair of the committee this year. One thing became very clear from interviewing these 3 young gentlemen, and it was that everyone involved at all the different levels exemplified leadership or followership, and did so both simultaneously as well. The positional leaders were the co-chairs because they held a position of leadership over everyone else, and they led the meetings, but in addition to that, they also used their personal connections and their friendship to connect with every one of the followers, which is a large part of relational leadership. In addition, they tried to communicate and delegate with the committee, which are both very important leadership practices. The leaders did exemplify followership as well, though. It was generally a consensus by everyone that the entire committee was run as a democracy, and they even moved to a roundtable format so that everyone was on an equal playing field. In addition, Chris, who was a follower as a member of the committee, saw that the leaders were very dedicated and said that he always felt listened to, which is an important little quality for leaders to have. And in addition, as a viewer, Kevin said that the leaders made everything run so smoothly that he couldn't see any bumps in the road if there were any. In addition, Caleb, since he was one of the positional leaders, commented on how each leader took on a different role in the committee, and everyone did everything that they needed to do to get it all done. Both Chris and Caleb did comment, however, that the leaders could have been a little bit better at staying on track and on topic and communicating with each other. All of the followers in the committee acted as leaders as well. Any followers who weren't designated leaders were constantly doing things, and this was observed by Kevin, who was simply a viewer at the event. In addition, Chris, who was on the committee, said that the members led by always having new ideas and being willing to share them. And that was something that Caleb really enjoyed and agreed with. They also said that the followers played into their followership roles by trusting the leaders and carrying out any delegated tasks. At the event, Kevin said that the followers listened very well, which is an aspect of leadership, showing that the followers actually learned some leadership techniques as well. Chris said that the followers were all cooperative, although they could be a little bit disorganized at times. Caleb praised the entire group, saying that everyone went above and beyond what was expected and even necessary, especially given the resources that they had. He also agreed with Chris that the group could get a little distracted, but they both added that everyone was always ready to volunteer, which was good and bad because sometimes the same people would keep on volunteering, which created leaders within the group of followers, but at the same time, it also left some members a little left out and not doing as much. But overall, everyone volunteered and was eager to do things. This desire to always work towards the better good and the ultimate goal of the entire committee, along with the dedication and passion that both Chris and Caleb mentioned, shows a very high level of performance initiative. There's also a high level of relationship initiative within the group as well, because everyone commented on how both the followers and the leaders alike were all very close friends, even to the point of some people being referred to as the parents of others. This high level of performance and relationship initiative created a cohesive group that really showed that everyone was partners, not just collaborators or people just sitting at a table together. I found that a large part of allowing the leadership to be seen at every single level of followership was because the leaders really worked to empower their followers. As a co-chair, Caleb said that the leadership team employed empowerment techniques by having delegation and democracy, giving the members a voice in meetings and in planning. And Chris put it as the leaders putting us in charge. In addition, I also found it very interesting that in all my interviews, even though there were technically 3 positional leaders, only 2 of them were mentioned. Instead, a third person was named as a leader who was a follower in the committee, and they were named as a leader instead. This shows that leadership is much more than just a title, and that leadership can really be shown by modeling the way as a follower. So clearly, leadership and followership was seen throughout the entire committee of Real Teal. Leaders and followers showed strong leadership skills, and that will definitely serve them well in the future. They also had the consciousness of self to be able to see what was done poorly in order to do a better job in the future. This introspectiveness is a sign of a desire to improve and a dedication to the collaborative goal of the group, which is to make every Real Teal the best that it can possibly be. Now, I promised Caleb and Chris that I was going to do some closing remarks for them. Chris wanted me to say that Bagels and Rolls is the Real Teal, and that facial hair was the essence of the Real Teal leadership. Caleb wanted me to give out a shout out to Sanja because he wanted to promise her that he's still planning on meeting with her about that email someday, even though it's the end of the semester and it's almost too late. He also wanted to say that Liz is the best, but he didn't actually say that last comment because I wrote this. I just wanted to make myself feel good. He's actually behind the camera right now being like, Liz, shut up. Why are you doing this? I hate you. Go away. Bye. Yeah, he's shaking his head right now. He's like, nope, I hate you. Go away.